2, 1. Hello, everyone. Nice to see you all.
Good morning.
Hello. Can everyone hear everyone okay? Yep. One of these days, we're just going to snap our fingers and all of this technology will happen.
That would be nice. Can you guys hear me? This is Sarah Rabin-Sapira.
Yeah, I can hear you great.
Great. I tried to log in through my laptop. It's not working, so I'm on my phone, but hopefully that's okay.
That's pretty cool that that's working. 21st century. Thank you.
Exactly.
Well, I'm happy to have all of you here. We've been working really hard over here. We have, as some of you know, we're at, I think, 72,000 events happening in 1 week in 96 countries and all 50 states. We just got Wyoming, which was our last state, and now we're in every state. We're very excited.
Good.
And
and you got DC, so it's 51 states.
Right. And we're really happy. All of you have been such amazing partners and supporters of Character Day. And we're going to get to talk about things that you're doing and stuff you're planning on doing next week. And it's going to be wonderful. So everyone that's tuning in, I know we have a lot of MOTs tuning in. If you're screening The Making of a Mensch, there are those of you who are screening Science of Character, The Adaptable Mind, and today's focus is going to be how to have a slammin' Jewish screening with great discussion and all the resources available and lots of best practices and examples of what people are doing. So I want to welcome everyone on the whole Jewish spectrum who might be tapping in. And we love hearing all the different ways that people use the films, both on Character Day and throughout the year, because I know there's a woman on here with great examples of that. So to begin with, we have Beth Cousens, who's the Associate Vice President of Jewish Education and Engagement at the Jewish Federation of North America. Welcome, hello, I'll let you take it away.
Great, fabulous. Thanks, Tiffany. It's a pleasure to be here and to be kicking things off with such a great group of presenters and a great group out there. So my job is to spend literally just a few seconds talking about what I do every day, and then to pass things off to one of my favorite educators. So at the Jewish Federations of North America, our job is to help federations spend more and spend better in the areas of Jewish education and engagement. Federations and central agencies for Jewish education, I'm sure we all are well aware, are tremendous platforms for change, impact, and innovation in our communities through strategic grant making, convening, making connections, training, thought leadership, like putting out ideas about Character Day, sometimes through direct intervention and programming. Federations change the ways that Jews engage with Jewish life. By catalyzing new opportunities particularly, sometimes initiating and sometimes supporting people's good ideas, again, like Tiffany's work, federations design the institutional landscape that offers chances for people to engage with Judaism. Federations actually spend between about 1/3 and half of their resources on strengthening Jewish education and engagement, and our office was created to provide support for all of that. So we spread ideas, we have a blog, we update semi-weekly, we have a series of webinars, and we also work deeply with federations in groups that we call learning circles that look a little bit like communities of practice. And we also bring people together in person. So after the GA this year, if you're in Washington, D.C., we're holding a 24-hour convening on engagement called Fed Engage. So Avi West, educator extraordinaire in Washington, D.C., is going to share some of what they are doing for Character Day in the greater Washington community. His work includes great examples of linking area educators to high quality resources, giving educators a sense of how Character Day can fit into their work and really strengthen students' experiences. He himself serves as a thought leader for the community, works at the Federation, as someone who inspires and connects Washingtonians to their Jewishness in different ways. And in this context, through Musar, he links their efforts at being better humans to their Jewish tradition. It is totally my pleasure to introduce Avi. And I won't take credit for his work, but I will say that his great work is definitely an example of what we try to get out there in the world.
Oh, beautiful. That was great.
Thank you, Beth. That is wonderful to see you, even virtually. I'm going to just give 3 or 4 examples. I'm going to toss it to Sarah, my wonderful colleague, who has the best example of what we are trying to innovate right now. And then she'll toss it back to me because I want to just give a loving rant and blog that I sort of composed in honor of Character Day and where I would love to take it in the Washington community. So let me just tell you that we have a wonderful evening planned on the 22nd at the Bender JCCGW, the Rockville Jewish Community Center. We're advertising it for adults and or teens, especially parents from the center, the parenting center. And we're going to have the films shown with talkback right afterwards, linking the film themes to Musar, moving it forward to a year-long venture, and the high holiday themes of change and teshuvah. So that there's a practical element. We have about 8 to 12 institutions that are signed up locally, and I'm going to attempt to keep the Character Day themes alive during the whole school year, working to integrate character development into formal and informal programs. The Jewish interactive games that are just coming online now, the apps are there for you to download. I have worked on with Robin, and they have the potential for creating real great learning and sharing of personalized gaming, especially for learning the vocabulary of Jewish character strengths and starting to apply them to situations. So I'm sure that the link will go out. It's online now. I also would love to see more intergenerational fishbowl activities with honest discussions about character and success in school and work. This would surface different generational approaches to life and success based on the personal experiences and the wisdom of 2 generations at least. There's a lot to mine there, and I'm hoping to sort of shepherd those programs. I'm also encouraging the formation of Musar Chevrutot, character development learning circles, where friends don't let friends drive their lives under the influence of popular culture. The journaling, the journaling and consistent self-assessment and the 12-step style of honest group disclosure, I hope would push individuals and the group to really pay attention to their behavior and values. But I think the main thing that I'm so happy to see is the brainchild of our Sarah Rabin-Spira, who shepherds all of the PJ Library activities in our area. I'll throw it to her to tell you about.
Sure. Hi, everybody. I'm Sarah Rabin-Spira. As Avi, you could probably guess from Avi's introduction. I run PJ Library in Greater Washington, and in DC, in the Greater Washington area, PJ Library is implemented by the Jewish Federation of Greater Washington. When Avi and I discussed Character Day, one of the things that we really thought would be key is to have deep conversations. And from my 3 years in PJ Library, I can tell you it's very difficult to have deep conversations when you see somebody once for 1.5 to 2 hours. So the solution that we came up with was to be able to have these conversations in the home with the parent and child, where the trust is already established, where the conversation is already part of their routine in theory, and to give parents the tools that they need to have those conversations at home with their kids about character. We've noticed through all of the social action programs that we've done that parents want to raise good kids, they want to have them do that, but it's not a natural thing to get from, I want to be a good person, to these are the actions, in my day-to-day life, and how do you navigate that for kids? So what we did was we created an online event on Facebook. If you want, you can go to it right now, or you can go to it later. The short link for it is bit.ly/PJCD. That's as in PJs in pajama, CD for Character Day 2016. So bit.ly/PJCD 2016. And so we have a Facebook event where every day we post something new for the based on the periodic table of character strengths. We have what we're calling a conversation catalyst. So we made JPEGs of the cards, the really cool cards that give the background as to like, what do you mean by perseverance in the context of being a good person, in terms of building a character. So we're using those materials. And then the conversation catalyst could be a Sesame Street song. It could be a short story to read. It could be a video. It could be a news story. There's a variety of things. We're only, I think, 9 character traits in at the moment. And then we have questions. It's the same questions every single day, so the kids start to expect it. And then we also link a PJ Library book. The obvious question is, why not use your PJ Library book as a conversation catalyst? And the reason for that is that not every parent is going to have every one of these books on their shelf at a given time. We wanted to make sure that there were links to that so they could go and find it, but we didn't want the conversation to go away just because they happened to get a different book from PJ Library. So we wanted to make sure the links were there, but that we made this as easy as possible. The way this is working in practice is that we're getting a lot of buzz, and it's building. I mean, all of this stuff is going to stay here. We will eventually all put it on a static website, jconnect.org/character day. Don't bother going there now. It doesn't exist yet. It'll exist by tomorrow. But all of these materials will be there. And that way a parent or a teacher at any time could go back and say, hey, what would be a good conversation starter to talk about honesty? And we'll have those resources right there for them at any time, easily searchable. We also have a Pinterest board that will also be attached to that as well, with book lists on how to develop empathy, or book, social emotional book lists, or all of these links as well. So we're trying to get everybody every place that we can. And the way it's working is like in my home. My kids happen to be right in the PJ Library sweet spot. I have a 4-year-old and a 6-year-old, and we have these conversations every night about whatever it is that they do, and they're starting to look forward to it. We're 2 weeks in, and they're like, okay, what's the trait today? And I was like, okay, well, we're going to talk about honesty, or we're going to talk about perseverance or perseverance, because they watch a lot of Peppa Pig, and going through that. And so just really being able to have these conversations has been made a difference. I reinforce them in the lunch notes the next day. And so hopefully parents are taking, even if they only do 1 conversation a week, we post 6 times a week, skipping Shabbat day. Even if they only do it 1 time a week, that's probably 1 more conversation about character and menschlichkeit than they ever had before. So that's our goal, is to make it easy for parents, to not make it onerous, to make it entertaining, and hopefully it'll start a ripple.
I love that. I have a 7-year-old, and I was like, I'm gonna do that. When we have on our fridge the periodic table of being a mensch, and
cool.
At dinner every night, I ask my girls, what did you do today that was kind, that was brave? We go through that, but I like the idea of bringing a card to bed and discussing it when I'm cuddling with her. I love that. That's great.
Yeah.
I love all
and
the,
then
and that's
showing a video.
I love it. I'm a big fan of PJ Library, so that's super cool. And one thing I'm just going to interject. We're launching it on Character Day. It is a Character Day resource hub, and at the very top, and actually, it's similar to PJ Library has a great sorting feature if you're looking for age or by strength. And we're doing that with the 24 character strengths, plus some additional strengths from our other film, The Adaptable Mind. And you'll be able to search films, books, apps, and games for every age group, from age 4 to age 99. And we have for secular audiences, and then we have this little button called the Mensch filter. And if you press the Mensch filter, you will get a Jewish version of the resources. And so we are launching that hub, which will complement what you have, because it's really, we wanted to bring all the resources around character education together, social emotional learning, Musar, and all the different viewpoints, put them all in one place so you could search it and sort it. So I love hearing about what you're doing with that. It's fantastic.
Right. Yeah, I love that Mensch filter. I thought that was super cute.
Well,
and very helpful.
We really went back and forth on it because, obviously I'm Jewish, so that we made him a Mensch. And next year we're going to make a film that looks at character through all the different faiths and atheists, and that's next year. But
that's cool.
We were trying to think of a subtle way to do the Mensch filter. So if you're not Jewish and you're like, without making people feel excluded, it was a very funny challenge. But I think in the end, the little Mensch filter, if you're Jewish, you know what that word means, you'll know how to use it, and if not, you'll just be like, huh, and then you'll probably just move on to your search. So that was our thinking around that. Cool.
Yeah. I'm replacing my Brita filters with Mensch filters now.
That's great. Oh, I wanted to say one thing. Avi, please take
Yes.
lots of photos. We want, this year, we're really going to push it to people to document your event. Everyone loves seeing it. We'll be reposting from around the world. But we love to see the size of it, the audience, the different kinds of people. Like anything you can send us, we would just love that from everybody. And then when you launch on PJ Library, are you going to do are you mostly doing that through Facebook? Or are you going to launch it on, you said it's going to be up tomorrow, but are you going to do a big launch around it for Character Day? For PJ Library?
It's up already on Facebook as a Facebook event.
But there was one website that she said is not up yet, but will be.
Oh, that's the JConnect. That's our federation-based platform for making things available to the community even after events.
Fantastic. Okay, cool. Great. Well, that sounds super cool. Okay. So, Avi, did you want to say anything more? Or
I did. I can give us the option of going afterwards during the Q&A.
No. Go ahead and finish. I have more time. Yeah.
All right. So this is a loving rant that I wrote about why I love the periodic chart of character strengths. Because it really took me a while to get into it and to help myself understand what's different about it, and I want to use it to ask and inspire educators to do something a little bit radical. As I was attempting to recruit synagogues and schools to sign up for Character Day, I found that the best hook for them was the making of the Mensch video. People really felt at home with the concept, and the title fit into their previous mindset about teaching Jewish values. It was a lot harder to move educators from teaching Jewish values towards a Musar or Character Day approach of disciplined work on character development. So today I wanted to go back to the other video, the Science of Character video, and try to articulate what for me was the real chidush, the innovative revelation that I hope educators will embrace. There are plenty of lists of Jewish values. Most of them are two-dimensional. Many educators pair up a universal trait with a Hebrew value concept and then bring an illustration from Jewish text, holidays, history, which is great because it shows a particular Jewish branding for a value, even though the value is universal. The poster child for that, of course, is the difference between charity and tzedakah, heart-motivated giving versus just and righteous giving. Another example closer to where I'm going is pairing hospitality with Avraham and Sarah's brand of Hachnasat Orchim, where the biblical and midrashic stories reveal the strengths of zirizut, enthusiasm, spousal teamwork, arevut, and derech eretz as social intelligence. So that's great, but even with that, we're still talking about values and not working on them. So the research based on the periodic table revolutionized my thinking. My 5 takeaway points are that your character is framed by nature and nurture. Character strengths can be learned, cultivated, and practiced. It's a quote, but that's something to remind every faculty member. That learning activities need students to climb the developmental ladder from having a fixed mindset into a growth mindset. Again, a part of our educational program. A growth mindset is stimulated when we celebrate our character strengths and all that's right with us. That's the quote. And also to learn to identify and appreciate the character strengths of others. The internal and external awareness of that appreciation is a key factor, as you say, for lasting happiness and well-being. It's the key to good relationships, and it gives structure to what we mean by a community in the classroom. It gives us almost a homeroom curriculum for every time we meet with the students. And then beyond the stereotypical mensch making, the sweet person who does good for others and yet could be abused, the strengths on the periodic table also emphasize the executive functioning and self-regulation, which are the basis for success in school, work, family, and society. So influenced by that video and Ellen Galinsky's Mind in the Making, I'm wondering if we can create a different kind of flipped classroom, where the curriculum spinal column would be the strengths on the periodic table, especially optimism, gratitude, social intelligence, curiosity, etc. We would do less teaching about and more training and rehearsing for using the character strengths, employing illustrations from Jewish texts and traditional subject matters. Educators would select learning strategies that address the growth element of each. So when Galinsky identifies focus and self-control, which are on the periodic table, and it encompasses the Mensch's term of gevura and a little bit of netzach, perseverance. How wonderful and spiritual it is to categorize these skills with nuances of courage and temperance as ego control. Teachers and parents should play games that require kids to pay attention, remember rules, follow directions like red light, green light, Shimon Omer, and other games where learners can't go on automatic, like playing sorting games and change the rules of the sort. All of these are great things, and in fact are in the Reggio system of early childhood education. It makes for a more engaging classroom, and then we would never lose sight that we're educating images of God and not just teaching Bible or Hebrew. So on one foot, the goal of faith-based education for me includes lifelong learning, should be to equip each learner with the social, emotional, spiritual tools and move them through developmental stages in the healthiest way. That's what the periodic chart will keep us focused on. All the rest of the content areas, as Hillel may say, are commentary. And Musar education is also an example where, you know, I hope to bring in our community, in the congregational work, because I know that there are many day schools working on Musar in academic and student life programs. The Better You Project, which has a fabulous journal to download, the Musar Institute out of Philadelphia, and Alan Marinis' institute. So I'm going to just reference what actually was mentioned before, a blog on the Huffington Post. We ask our kids 3 questions every night. And I would ask teachers and parents to do the same. Right? Which 3 questions? How were you brave today? How were you kind today? How did you fail today? They may seem limited, but anybody who knows the periodic chart would say, wow, because to be brave includes the whole courage pillar of perseverance and honesty, enthusiasm. And think of how that could reinvigorate teaching Hanukkah beyond Maccabean Syrian Greek armies. So much to talk about and a lifetime to grow into. That was the chidush that I felt.
Yay! That was great. I'm so glad this is recorded. That was beautiful. Thank you so much. Can't wait to meet you in person and not just over a computer. Next time I'm in DC, I'm going to come visit.
I could fax myself over next week.
Fax yourself. Okay. Let's see. So next we have Leslie Levin, who's the Jewish Student Life Coordinator at University of Maryland, Baltimore County, Hillel. Hello.
Hi, can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. It's such a privilege to be here. Thank you so much for including me with all of these esteemed Jewish professionals. UMBC Hillel is so happy to be a part of Character Day and 72,000 organizations. That's wonderful. So I just met with my group of student leaders this past Monday, and we formalized the last of our details for our Character Day event. And after speaking with Robin from the Jewish Federation of Greater Washington, she encouraged me to be part of our webinar right now and to go over our event with you. So one of our students, our Ariel Fossey, is part of a band called the Shalomi Homies. And yes, so I want everyone to just take in the name of that band right now. And it's not, and before I go into the details about the band, one of the greatest parts of his rock band is that it's not just a group of college students. It's the members are comprised of a group of all ages. So you have a Jewish frat college student who goes home once or twice a week to meet with a 3 or 4 60-year-old men to do philanthropy-based performances at Jewish institutions all over the DC, Maryland area, and record their own versions of Jewish songs that appeal to a broad base of children, adults, and also to lift themselves onto a higher plane. So they just created their own version of Hine Ma Tov, and he was so excited to come play it for us. And because of that, we decided, because they are a bunch of characters, what better way to have them as a guidepost for Character Day. But obviously that can't be the only part of Character Day. So our students, to introduce them to the beginning of the curriculum, I chose the second quote-unquote way to play as our opening for our first student leader meeting, and it was a great way to set our tone of the year, just to teach them of what our expectations for the year as student leaders would be. And they were so excited just to share their strengths and qualifications, and it really opened a way of a new way of sharing themselves with each other. A lot of them had not met each other yet, and it was a great way to open up in ways that they had not yet explored. And they're very excited to do that with students who they have not yet engaged with on campus. And UMBC is a very interesting campus unto itself. We are right in between Baltimore and Washington, D.C., so we're our own little hub in between, our own little satellite campus. So our students generally don't like to leave, and we're a very introverted STEM campus. So having students come and explore their own character strengths is going to be a wonderful experience for them. And our students decided that they actually wanted to set up the cards on 3 different large tables and have each of them be a team quote-unquote leader at each of the tables and guide the students in the discussions and have the different 3 of the different methods on each of the tables and lead. And they volunteered to lead using the cards because they loved all the methods and couldn't decide because they wanted to experiment with each way. And maybe further down the year they could try it each way, which one they liked the best. But they loved all of the methods. And so what we would be doing at the event is we would start off with the film, and during the band, while the band plays, the students would be discussing and listening to as the band plays as well. And after each song, we would pause a little bit, and the musicians would be explaining what that particular song meant to them and the story behind it.
I love it. And actually, I wanted to, we're talking about the cards in the poster so much. Those of you on the interweb who haven't seen a kit, I know a lot of people their kits are just about to arrive, but just for context, the making a periodic table of being a mensch, that's on my fridge. And I love your idea that you're going to have the cards out and you use it as a way to get to know each other, and these are all the cards they're going to have on the table. Super cool. And I love that. And please also take pictures. I want to see that. That sounds so cool. And the band, I want to go listen to them.
Yes, we were very excited for all of it. And I have to tell you, last year, the very first thing that I did was use the tribe for one of our
that film's still going strong.
For one of our student leader meetings. So this is very kismet that a year later we're using the science of character. So
I love that. I just pulled the tribe up today because I'm working on a new movie on women in power, and I wanted to re-watch the tribe ending. It's so funny. I'm like, I made it so long ago. I want to re-watch it.
Yes, so my students are very big Tiffany Shlain fans.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm super excited. I'm so glad you were a part of this. We love to hear what all the different types of groups are doing. And next, we are going to go to Rabbi Laurie Tapper, from the Director of Jewish Studies, and let's see, the school rabbi, and you've been doing so many cool things year-round. You've been with us for a while. Do you want to talk about some of the great things that you've been doing with Character Day materials and concepts?
Sure, thank you, and thank you for including us. We love Character Day at Yavneh Day School. So we are a kindergarten through 8th grade community Jewish day school, And we've always been, and I think as most day schools are, focused on developing character and hopefully raising mensches. And about 5 years ago, we tried to start making that more explicit, and began something at our school called a keshet of kavod, a rainbow of respect. And for each color of the rainbow, we focused on a different Jewish value, and we switched values about once a month. And so for the first few years, it was just the staff and the administration coming up with what the values were. You know, we were pulling, similar to how Avi was talking about, we were pulling from different lists and different books that were out there, but something felt like it was missing. And then I stumbled upon Character Day, and it really felt like this was what we'd been waiting for, because it allowed us to expand it and really make it student-driven. So last year, we started the year without a rainbow. So there was sort of this big hullabaloo by all the kids and the parents. Where's the rainbow? What are the values? What's going to happen?
Oh, no.
We said we're building the rainbow together from scratch. And so we introduced everyone to the movie The Science of Character, and we introduced the periodic table. And then over the course of the first month of school, we researched all of the different characters, and then the student voted, the parents voted, the teachers had a say, and on Character Day, we revealed what the 7 attributes from the periodic table that we were going to focus on for the year. So I also have, so every year there's a poster, so you can see, like, and these are big and they're all over school. So like this was our very first year, but then by last year, so we were able to then pull from those 7. And what I love about having the...
We need a copy of that.
Happy to send it. And what I love about the periodic table, so then on Character Day we revealed, here's our 7 values for this year, or our 7 attributes for this year, and then we study them all school year, and we're doing that again this year. So May, and we'll be revealing this year's 7 on Character Day as well.
Oh, we lost you a little.
And
wait, we lost you a little.
So we do that. I'm sorry, I can't tell if someone's saying something.
Oh, we were losing you a little. You were a little frozen.
Oh.
I don't want to miss a word of what you just said. So will you go back one sentence or?
So once a month we have assemblies.
Yes.
That are led by our 8th graders. The whole school comes together, and they create a play, a skit, a song, something to teach the rest of the school about the attribute that we're going to be focusing on for that month. And then in their classes, all the younger grades, kindergarten through 5th grade, have a set time on Friday mornings every week where they explore that character strength.
So
a lot of the teachers use the resources from the Character Hub, from the packets that we got last year. And sometimes what I was saying shifted the way we're talking about to actually moving. So we've really been focusing with students on how do you actually integrate this into yourself. And that's the kinds of discussions they have on Friday mornings with the parents are also involved, the parents connected to whatever that month's attribute is. And then the other piece that I really love is that we make it part of daily life. And so we also have these cards. They always match whatever the poster is for that year, where they're
oh, you're going in and out, and I'm dying. Okay.
It lists whatever the values are, and you check it off, and then you they get delivered to the people. We don't like do it at a big assembly because it's not about who gets to be called up, but you get this note and you take it home and you share it with your parents, and it's taught you working on one of these attributes from the periodic table. And the other thing that I love about now pulling our Keshet of Kavod from the periodic table is it really, because it includes scientific research, and the movie is so good at sort of explaining the intersection between brain research about this is so important, and it's allowed us to do more integration with teachers who might not be Jewish, or it allows us to blend that universal and particular as well in an easier way. So it's given us language and infrastructure on which we can anchor the mensch building that we're doing all the time at a Jewish day school.
You're like my best example. So I mean, I just love when Sawyer, producer over here, and we run it over here together and have since the beginning, and he was telling me everything that you were doing, and I was so excited because you've really stretched it in all these beautiful ways, and it's going to be so great for so many other educators and people that run schools that I know that are tuning into this to hear how Character Day is one day, and all of the examples that we're hearing from you and Avi and PJ Library is a way you can make Character Day every day, and that's our real goal, is that there's nothing that can replace the excitement of having these thousands and thousands of screenings and all these different people, and that's so exciting. And then take all that energy and let it build into your whole curriculum and the way that you educate and talk about growth, and so it's really beautiful. I'm verklempt. I'm like, I have to throw out Yiddish. I'm with the whole Jewish group. And it makes the work so worth it. We've been working so hard on Character Day, and it just feels really nice to hear all the beautiful results of it. And so I'm so grateful you all came on. And, you know, hashtag Character Day 2016. Everyone go into that hashtag. We'll be retweeting. It's going to be a crazy, fabulous day of a lot of excitement, a lot of interesting discussions. And we've just launched this campaign this week, which I hope you'll all participate in, which is to nominate someone in your life or someone you really respect with a strength. So, for example, I did my husband as my first one. I nominate, and then I put this is on Twitter, you can do it on Facebook too, Ken Goldberg, my husband, for his creativity and humor and love, and Character Day 2016, and then pass it on. And so we want to get this going. We need all of your help. I'm about to do a whole bunch of just role models I have, film directors and scientists, and so I'm gonna mix it up with the people I love, like my husband, daughter, and mother, and also heroes. So help me get that started. And it's all, and any of you tuning in, still not too late to sign up. And once you sign up, you'll get a better experience because you can get all the resources. And we just announced our speaker lineup for the day. I don't know, did you guys see our speaker list?
Yeah.
We just announced we have Rabbi Laurie Jonathan Sachs, who's going to be amazing. And then we have Rabbi David Jaffe. We have Alan Morenis, who, of course, is the father of the modern Musar movement. We've got lots of great Jews. We've got lots of great thinkers from other faiths and secular thinkers, and everyone's an expert on character education, social emotional learning. And I think everyone would agree that we're all interested in this because of the goals to really grow more mensches in our world and make us think about it and evolve who we are. So, on that note, thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful for all the energy and creativity you've put into Character Day with your events. And let me know how they go. I wish I was going to be at each one of your events.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, everyone. Have a great day.
You too.
You too.
Thanks.